What's good, everybody? It's your boy here, the Q-Tip, and we're back with another video. Yes, I'm in the same hoodie, same hat. I've actually been wearing this hat a lot because it is freezing out here. I don't know anybody that lives in the northeastern regions, but it's been freezing. Well, actually, it's been kind of really cold in the Midwest too. So I guess a lot of different places where it's freezing, but that's neither here nor there. This is day 10, by the way. I didn't say this in another video. This is day 10 of me posting every day of December. Started on the 2nd. And now this will be 2 videos in one day, unless I use this one for tomorrow. But I'm not going to do that because what's the point? Just drop them both today, which is what I'm going to do. But then that means I have to drop another one tomorrow. Let me stop talking about stuff that's not about this video. This video is about Oklahoma State, Bedlam, women's basketball. We got number 9, Oklahoma, number 23, Oklahoma State, SEC, Big 12, former Big 12 matchup. Like I said with the Iowa State and Iowa matchup, Bedlam, Oklahoma State is always really, really important. Doesn't matter what sport it is. Doesn't matter, what you're playing. Doesn't matter when it is. Doesn't matter what the rankings are, records, any of that. All that matters is your team, your school, your side of the city gets the win. Obviously, Oklahoma's the favorite to win this game, but I like what I've seen from Oklahoma State so far. Been heavy on the guard play, which I think is interesting going against Oklahoma, who has more size. Like obviously they have good guard play as well, but they have more size at the 3, 4, and 5 positions. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up there. And I like that Oklahoma State has went and got players like Haley Timmer's come in, Amari Whiting has come in, and they've done a good job of building there, I feel like. And this is one of those games where I don't want to say put them on the map, but like statement game. Even if it's like just they play really close, they play a really good game. It's a game where it's kind of like a measuring stick game. Like even if you lose, which I'm not saying that they'll lose, I'm just saying even if they don't end up winning this game, if they're able to, be in this game, and this game is a couple possession game at the end of the game or whatever, I think they can leave that. I think they can leave the game feeling really good about themselves. Now, there's gonna be some things that have to go well for them. They shoot the 3 ball really well. Their top 4 scorers shoot 49%, 37%, 42%, 44% from 3. Jaden Wooten shoots 45% from 3 as well. So 5 of the top 6 scorers shoot really efficiently from the floor. I think the lowest one was 37. So that's something that Oklahoma has to do. Like, Oklahoma is heavy offense. So their defense is going to have to play a lot better in this game, which we've seen at times during the season that they've played really good defense. I think the last game that they had was against NC State, and their defense wasn't phenomenal, but they're able to get enough stops at certain points in the game, and their offense is so potent that if they're able to get 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 stops in a row, which happens a lot in college basketball, honestly, if they're able to get that, they're able to get a lead, and then once you get that lead, it's kind of hard for teams to bounce back because they are able to score at such a high rate. Haley Summer shooting 61% from the floor, Micah Gray shooting 41% from the floor, Lena Girardi shooting 47, Amari Whiting shooting 51, Akol Akat is shooting 70, Jaden Wooten is shooting 57, and then even Staley Hurd, who is also averaging double figures. They have 7 players averaging double figures. So that's another thing, is like being really balanced, having good depth. Like in big games, it matters to have depth. It also matters to have consistency. Like you have to have the players that you trust on the court the most. And that's not to say that certain players shouldn't be on the court or anything like that. It's just like you have to know which players need to be on, who has it going today, who doesn't, all these different things. Who can you trust? Who's going to be consistent? Who's going to be able to make those big plays, big shots, things like that. So for Oklahoma State, they're going to have to shoot the ball really well, and they're going to have to play good defense because Reagan Beers obviously is one of the best players in the country. Peyton Verhulst, arguably the most versatile player in the country, can shoot from the logo, can get to the rim, can create for her teammates, can score in the post, can score in the mid-range, can shoot the free throw well, And then Aaliyah Chavez is playing better and better each game. Like, I was watching her yesterday. I think they played like Little Rock. And she just looks so comfortable. She looks so confident. And I think when you can get your freshman, I think she was the top ranked recruit coming in. When you get the number 1 ranked recruit coming in, playing on a team that is trying to contend, trying to win a national championship, and understanding what level she needs to play at and being able to do that consistently and confidently is huge. Obviously, Zaya Van, they're looking for her to have a big game as well. This is an interesting matchup because it's kind of offense versus offense. I do think both teams are capable of getting stops defensively, but I think this is just going to be a shootout. Who can make more shots? What is Oklahoma State's atmosphere like? They're playing in the Paycom Center, so it's probably going to be a mixed bag, if anything. Like, I don't know if there's going to be one school that has the overwhelming majority. Maybe Oklahoma State does because it's counted as a Oklahoma State home game. I don't know for sure. These games are always interesting because even the Iowa State-Iowa game, like, Iowa State had a lot of fans there, but there was also, like, when Iowa scored, you could hear a really good contingent of fans that was Iowa. So this is another one of those matchups where it's like the atmosphere is going to be great, but we don't know necessarily for who it's going to be in favor of. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's just having a great atmosphere, the crowd just being really loud, just being really rowdy, being into the game is just the best thing that can happen. So when it comes to X factors, key factors, 3-point shooting for Oklahoma State, rebounding for Oklahoma State, and staying out of foul trouble. Because while they do have a lot of guard depth, they don't have a lot of forward depth. So they're going to have to play small, and they're going to have to play like kind of like Creighton and South Dakota State have played in recent years, of just like hoping that we can just outshoot you in a way. And I think there's a chance that they can do that. I think they definitely have the ability to make Oklahoma pay for wanting to get out in transition, wanting to play fast, wanting to be heavy on the offense and things like that. But also, Oklahoma is really good at that for a reason. Like, they do that because they know they can. They have the personnel to do it. So I'm looking at Oklahoma, and it's like, okay, can you guard them well enough to where you don't have to match them shot for shot? And I don't know. I feel like this game is just going to be a shootout. I don't really see now. Look, again, the one thing that I'm worried about for Oklahoma State is, not having necessarily multiple players that can deal with Reagan Beers. Like, Akat, I think, has a good opportunity and a good chance to guard her well, but I think you cannot guard Reagan Beers one-on-one for one. And you also can't have only a few players that can come in to play just in case there's foul trouble, because your entire game plan and your entire philosophy could be out the window once a player gets into some foul trouble. So that's one thing I'm looking at. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to just a few small things: 3-point shooting, rebounding. In terms of Oklahoma State, at least, 3-point shooting, rebounding, and then for Oklahoma, I think just play their brand of basketball. But you're going to have to get stops. Like, you're not going to be able to, if Oklahoma State is playing really well all the way up and through the third quarter, it's anybody's game in the fourth. Obviously, Oklahoma has the better players and they have the more experienced players in big games. But when you see games like this, when games like this happen, rivalry games too, if you let the team that is quote-unquote less talented or shouldn't win the game, on paper at least, when you let them hang around too long, you end up losing or almost losing. I would say like Maryland, Minnesota. Like, Maryland was on the road playing against Minnesota. Minnesota had a lead. Maryland fought their way back, and then it was a back and forth. Then Minnesota had like a 9-point lead. Maryland was able to just barely crawl their way back, send it to multiple overtimes, and end up winning that game. But you don't really want to have to go through all that. You don't want to have to do all that just to get a win. You know, you would rather get a 10 to 12 point win, feel good about yourself, go to the next game, whatever. But I have a good feeling about this game in terms of how good it can be and how good both of these offenses can play. I do want to see how Oklahoma State handles this big game situation, because I think Oklahoma, since they've played against some top teams, they played against UCLA, they played against I felt like it was NC State that they played. They played against NC State. So since they've had these kinds of games, I want to see how Oklahoma State is able to navigate and how they play and how their confidence goes up or down throughout the game based on what's going on. If I had to choose, I'm going to choose Oklahoma because I think they're the better team. But I do think this is, again, I really do think this is one of those games where if Oklahoma State gets hot early, this could be a really long and tough game for Oklahoma. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma because I trust Reagan Beers, I trust Peyton Verhulst, and I trust Aaliyah Chavez. I think this is one of those games where Peyton probably has a big game. Like, I think everyone is going to be trying to play for, trying to help out on Reagan Beers. I think people are starting to see how well Aaliyah Chavez is playing, so people are going to try to, bottle her up as well. And that just leaves Peyton Verhulst to just carve up the defense, whether it be in the middle of the floor at the free throw line, from the three-point line, in the post, as the creator, all these different ways. She's, I would say, top 3 most versatile player in the country, and I'd have to really go through and look at all the different players, but off the top of my head, I think she's the top 3 most versatile. So if they can slow her down, she's kind of like the engine to their team. Like, she is kind of like their heart and soul. So I don't know if I don't really see a way where they slow her down, but if they are able to, that's probably their best chance of winning. But yeah, I'm going to go with Oklahoma, but I think this is going to be a phenomenal game. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Both games that I've previewed today are on Saturday. Today is Friday. If you're watching this on Saturday, then the game is today. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to continue to try to post every single day of December. We got a lot more coming up. We got a lot more to talk about. And I appreciate everybody that has watched so far and everyone that has supported. I appreciate it dearly. Thank you guys for watching.